final. Nobody from Jamaica, no sprinters from the Caribbean at all. And that's the first time since 1986, and it was a Caribbean boycott of Edinburgh in '86. I think also of Botswana, who've got the quickest man in the Commonwealth at the moment, and the staggering talent, the 19-year-old, just turned 19, of Letsile Tebogo, who's running in the World Under-20s, ran 9:91 in Colombia, and he's actually just gone below 20 seconds with a cruising 200 meters. So look out for Letsile Tebogo in the future. I understand they've got a slight issue with the timing at the moment, and these are the nervous moments, Colin Jackson, where you're ready to go. You can see how fired up they are, but the psychology of this and trying to sort things out.
And this is where the champion is really made, where you keep your calmness and your focus on the job in hand, not any distractions.
So a little just a bump of knuckles between Simbini and Omanyala, the South African, and the Kenyan side by side, and they would start as the two favourites. And again, just looking at them lining up, the 8 different colours, the 8 different countries. Azamati of Ghana on the inside, Abeykoon of Sri Lanka, Omanyala of Kenya, Simbini of South Africa, Esemi of Cameroon. Then you have Nathaniel Mitchell-Blake for England, Jeremiah Azu for Wales, and Rohan Browning for Australia. All adds to the nerves, adds to the tension.
On your marks.
But now we're ready. How can 32,000 who made such noise in the final of the women's 10,000 meters now fall so quiet? Azamati, Abeykoon, Omanyala, Simbini, Esemi, Mitchell-Blake, Azu and Browning for the final of the men's 100 meters.
Set.
Oh, flying out the blocks, Simbini, but look at Omanyala alongside him, and it's Omanyala who's powering his way. Is anybody going to catch him? Omanyala surely for the gold, takes it. Simbini with the silver, perhaps Abeykoon for the bronze. 10:02, the winning time. But again, the smile says it all. For Ferdi Omanyala, Kenya have a champion in the 100 meters. So well known, so well used to taking titles in the middle distance and beyond. But they have the quickest man in the Commonwealth here tonight in Ferdi Omanyala. And from that start, Simbini, others were trying to get back to him, but they just couldn't. He was too fast, too strong.
And very, very confident. Simbini, the defending champion, ends up with a silver medal. But what a tremendous performance. And the Sri Lankan taking a bronze. Who would have called that 1, 2, 3?
Well, and we're talking about Kenya winning the first Commonwealth 100 meters golds. I mean, Sri Lanka, first time on the podium in 100 meters. So this is it's been a curious final indeed for lots of reasons. Nathaniel Mitchell-Blake and Jeremiah Azu just couldn't get into that race at all. They had threatened and promised so much with their performance in the semi-finals, but really Omanyala, again, look at him, he's a sprinter, and he's got the smile of a champion now as well.
I love to see his celebrations. Look at that. He really feels a sense of honor, doesn't he? You can see he just has that pleasure of winning. No stress, saying, I'm a Commonwealth champion. What else do you expect? Great run.
I think it was Simbini with the silver, Abeykoon with the bronze. And just as we look at a couple of replays, the frustrating thing for Nathaniel Mitchell-Blake and Jeremiah Azu will be that, you know, the times they ran in the semi-finals, I know it doesn't always work out like that, but the times they ran in the semi-finals would have got them onto the, you know, the very edge of the podium. But Omanyala out and gone, and from this point, Michael Johnson, no one was catching him.
No one's catching him. I mean, he's got a great start. He's very compact. Sometimes he gets a great start, sometimes he doesn't, but he's been pretty consistent this year with everything that has gone on with him. World Championships, getting in a couple of hours before that heat. this was his opportunity here, and he took advantage of it, just led this race from start to finish. Akani Simbini, so much experience, been in 5th and 6th place in so many World Championship and Olympic finals, got a really good start over on Omanyala's right side, but it didn't bother him at all, and he was able to come through. He looked relaxed from the very beginning. It was interesting seeing Omanyala and Simbini sort of bumping knuckles right there on the start line as they were trying to figure out the start situation. You look right there and you see that actually coming out of that drive phase, Omanyala had a little bit of a dip and a little bit of a misstep there, but recovered well, didn't panic, and stayed with it here and still led this race from start to finish. Simbini, the reigning champion, relegated to 2nd place with still a medal. For the Sri Lankan, that's a really good performance there. He's been pretty consistent with his times all year, and to come in here and get a bronze medal in this field, great accomplishment for him. He will be certainly held it back home in Sri Lanka for that performance among some of the best sprinters in the world here. But Omanyala has been very good all year long, and yeah, it was so sad to see what happened to him at the championship, the World Championships, coming in and out a few hours before his preliminary. He made it through that, got into the semifinal, but that was the 2nd day and the fatigue just took over and wasn't able to get into that final, where I think he would have certainly mixed it up with those with the Americans who